I think we finally found a dish that I don't really like that much. Hi, I'm Beryl, and the theme for today's video is regional American dishes. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to be cooking dishes from America that are regional. I hate those definitions. It means that I'm going to be cooking dishes from around the United States that are particular to certain parts of the country. America's pretty big. There's actually quite a lot of diversity and some very interesting foods, I have realized. I actually haven't had any of the dishes that I'm going to be making, which I think is really exciting to always be learning more about your own culture while I've been busy learning about so many other ones as well. Before we go too far, the artist today is Halima Washington-Dixon. She's originally from California, currently is living in England. She paints still lifes in a way that makes me love still lifes. Have you ever seen flowers so beautiful and so vibrant? I found her on Instagram. I love it when you see art that makes you think differently about art. And she has made me think differently about still life art. I'm gonna leave a link to her website and to her Instagram. Highly recommend you follow her. Okay, the foods. We're gonna start with a dish that I have always been very curious about. I have never had it before. Tater tot casserole, tater tot hot dish. It has a few names, but it always has tater tots. Okay.
Hi, my name's Hayden. I live in North Dakota in the United States of America, and I'm going to be sharing with you some tater tot hot dish, which is also called casserole in some circles. It's a warm and creamy, salty, meaty dish that makes you just want to go and hug your mom, and you get to share it with your whole family. You start by browning your ground beef and making sure that that's well seasoned. And then you're gonna add a cream of mushroom soup mix. You can use other soup mixes if you want to. This is just like the most common way to do it here. You can also add cheese if you want at this point, but the most important part is the tater tots. Tater tots are basically just a fancy version of potatoes that are coated and cooked until nice and crispy. They're great as a side, but you can also use them as a topping in this case. But the cool thing about these dishes is they were made to bring people together. So whether it be for like a funeral or something that we have, which I believe a lot of the world has, is called a potluck. So when you can bring foods to share with other people, whether they're going through loss or whether you're just going to a barbecue, these were just some like easy staple things that you could make any time of the year that were delicious. And one of the things that I love about Midwestern recipes is that they're very multicultural, whether it be Scandinavian or Norwegian, German. And the other thing I love about these recipes is that some of them were from like the 50s and 60s and 70s and turned into something that we've modernized today as like pantry staples. Like, it's just one of my favorite things, and I love sharing some of my foods, and I love it when somebody has an open palate to try some of those new and fun recipes. You're gonna find some great things, and you're probably gonna find some things that you don't like, but I highly recommend trying some foods from the Midwest.
Tater tot hot dish. I'm so excited. I have heard tale of this dish for a long time, and I've just always needed the excuse to try it. It's like the ultimate savory, like crunchy, creamy, meaty, potatoey meal. I really like it. I also feel like I've never had tater tots like a part of a dish like this. They've always been on the side, never really been incorporated. This is fun. Okay, I love it. I love it. I don't know what to say because I just want to eat it. You could add more vegetables to the meat. I just went with like a super basic, tried to find like a super classic recipe. It's like the type of food that like sticks to your gut, makes you feel warm. It is like a hug from your mom. Hayden's right. Like, my mom has never made this for me, but it still feels like that. Cooking doesn't always have to be like such a big to-do, Cooking can also just be about making something that everybody likes to get everybody together to eat. So this was delicious. I've eaten the entire thing, and I have another savory dish to try, which I am very excited about. Okay.
So my name's Megan and I'm from Houston, Texas in the United States. And I wanted to tell y'all about a dish that I grew up eating. We call it armadillo eggs. I realize the name might be kind of weird. Maybe not everybody's familiar with even what an armadillo is, but it's this goofy little critter that whenever it gets scared, it kind of curls itself into a little ball with a hard armored shell on top. So an armadillo egg, how I grew up eating it, it was always with backyard barbecues and festivities. Traditionally, how I would make it as a kid is you get a jalapeno pepper, you hollow it out, stuff it with cream cheese. You usually wrap it in ground breakfast sausage, and then whenever it's wrapped with that sausage, it kind of looks like a Scotch egg. Traditionally, you would then take your little egg and you would wrap it with bacon. I don't personally like this version, but that's the most traditional version. Then you can do a couple different things. You can either sear it in a pan and put it in the oven, or my favorite way, which isn't the easiest because not everybody has a smoker, is you smoke it. Takes quite a while, but it's really tasty after. This definitely is a dish that is kind of time consuming, very indulgent, but it's good. Cut it in half, dip it in ranch dressing. It's just something that reminds me of home and hot summers in the South where everybody's outside grilling, drinking a beer, kind of enjoying family. I hope you enjoy.
Armadillo eggs, a classic. This feels very Texas, honestly. And it also is reminiscent to me of like a jalapeno popper, if you've ever had that, but those are breaded and deep fried, not wrapped in meat and then wrapped in more meat. This is wild. It definitely looks like a Scotch egg though. It's so rich and creamy. I mean, it's delicious. It's absolutely delicious. There's nothing not to like here. If you don't like cream cheese, maybe you won't like it. Man, I bet that smoked this is really good, because then you would get so much lovely flavor out of the meat. The garlic powder and the cream cheese is really good. It makes the middle not just like bland and fatty. There's also like a little bit of a kick. Wow. I don't know if I can eat any more of that though. Oh, it sits heavy. It sits so heavy. This would be really good if I was standing around like having a beer, like, oh my God, thank you so much for having me to your barbecue. I'm having such a great time.
Oh, did you try some of the armadillo eggs? Janice brought them.
Oh yes, I tried them. I clearly have all the trappings of stardom. This was my second savory dish, and now we're gonna go into the salad portion of the evening. It's not salad. I mean, it's salad, but it's not salad.
Hi, my name is Sam, and I'm from New York City in America. The dish I want to share with you all today is the Ambrosia salad. This is what we call a dessert salad. It's super easy to make, and there's like no cooking involved. Literally, you just mix up the Cool Whip and the pudding and then add in your fruit and you're good to go. The only thing is you need to like let it sit in the fridge for a couple hours, but otherwise like it's so simple and really good. I would say the star of the dish is probably the marshmallows, because when you let the marshmallows just sit in that mixture of like the Cool Whip, the pudding, and all the fruit juices, it gets like soft and pillowy, and it's just so good. So how it tastes, it's the super sweet salad. So if you imagine sweet with sweet, it's just even more sweeter. What my family does though is they add apples. So usually the whole salad is very soft in texture, like the cherries, the pineapple, all the fruits are really soft. So my family adds apples to it, so there's a nice crunch to it when you bite into your salad. This was not a dish that my family came up with. Back in elementary school, we always had so many potluck dinners. So my family, we're Chinese, so my mom would always make traditional Chinese food. My family fell in love with the ambrosia salad that another classmate brought in, and my mom hunted down my classmate's mom to ask for their recipe. So basically that recipe just came from my classmate, and ever since then, it's my mom has made it for every single family function and gathering. So personally, I don't think there's such thing as like weird food. And because I'm from New York City, it's like traditionally called like the melting pot. So basically you're exposed to so many different cultures all the time and so many different foods. I'm constantly trying new foods, and my rule of thumb is always try everything at least once. Even though it sounds like something you may not like, you never know, because you may taste it and then like magically fall in love with it. Just similar to how my family never knew what ambrosia salad was, but then when we went to a potluck, we were exposed to it and we just fell in love with it. So maybe that will happen to you.
Ambrosia salad, this is something that I have heard about, but I've never tried it before. It's a salad that has marshmallows in it and Cool Whip. Cool Whip. Cool Whip or Cool Whip? I mean, it's Cool Whip, but it's more fun to say Cool Whip. This really reminds me of the buko salad from my salad episode from the Philippines. It tastes like a pina colada if a pina colada was a salad. So many textures, like my mouth is tingling from the sugar. If you've never had Cool Whip, it's not whipped cream, but it's like whipped cream adjacent. It's really heavy, and you know, like you can turn the whole thing upside down and it won't fall out, which is kind of a crazy thing. The texture is kind of getting to me. I'm really not somebody who has issues with texture, but it's like so crunchy and also so soft at the same time, and like so creamy. Like my mouth is just confused. I was doing a little bit of reading, like why is it called ambrosia salad? So the word ambrosia in English means like fragrant or delicious, and ambrosia was also the magical fruit of the gods in Greek mythology. It was how the gods could maintain their immortality, in essence. So that's the word ambrosia. The actual dish kind of started appearing in American cookbooks in the 1800s, where there started to be more coconut and citrus grown in the United States, and the flavors were obviously like quite exotic at the time, and so combining them was this like very special dish. This became what was originally kind of like a citrus salad. This is the buko salad, ambrosia salad and buko salad. Filipinos and Americans like the same types of sweet salads. We are all one big happy sweet salad loving world. I just don't love sweet salads that much. The next sweet salad is also an interesting one, so here we go.
Hi, I'm Liz. Beryl asked me back to talk about lime jello salad. The lime jello salad is a jello fluff salad. The star ingredient in this dish is the heavy whipping cream, and you do not want to substitute with Cool Whip. The heavy whipping cream adds a richness to it that you just can't get with the Cool Whip. So you get the lime and the crushed pineapple, but then you also get the richness of the cream that kind of adds to it. It's kind of hard to explain. My family only really had this dish on Thanksgiving in the Thanksgiving spreads, and my mom would sometimes make it for potlucks. This recipe is sort of a family recipe, but not exactly. It's in the family, what we consider the family cookbook, the church cookbook that my grandma and her sister were behind. I think it's a good dish to try. If you're very sensitive to texture, you may or may not like the marshmallow, cottage cheese, and nuts all mixed together. That's soft and crunchy. I like this dish, I want to say mostly for nostalgia, but I do really like it with the cream. Anyways, I hope you enjoy trying this dish. I know it's not for everybody.
Lime jello salad. Liz was actually in my popcorn salad video.
My family really likes the staples of like a cranberry salad with marshmallows and this lime salad that has cottage cheese and lime jello, which is it's like the most disgusting sounding thing I know how to make, but it tastes pretty alright.
I asked her back because lime jello salad, it's very limey smelling. It's like the ambrosia salad again, where my mouth just like is tingling from the sweetness and like the creaminess. Like it's so creamy. It's so creamy. The nuts, it's interesting. The nuts just like have this like out of place crunch. I don't know if I like this one. I feel so weird. Like the marshmallows again, like I had the same issue with the ambrosia salad. The marshmallows just are too soft. I almost feel like you should put the marshmallows in right before you serve it, because then the marshmallows will still feel like marshmallows. I think we finally found a dish that I don't really like that much. Well, you know what, this whole experience and doing all the videos that I do, it's about tasting things, not about being scared to taste them. Like, what? Maybe I don't love this. What's the worst thing that happened? It just didn't taste that great. I mean, I'm still eating it. But, like, I wouldn't make this again. No. Okay, we have a final salad. It's not a salad. It's just not a salad.
Hi, my name is Kelly. I am from Central Jersey, right on the Jersey Shore, and I am here to talk to you about strawberry pretzel salad. So strawberry pretzel salad is something that my grandmother introduced me to. She lived out in Western Pennsylvania, and when we would go visit her for holidays or just trips, this is a side dish that she used to make for us. It's really not a side dish, nor is it a salad. It's more like a dessert, to be honest. And I think it stems from the 50s when Jello salads and Jello molds were sort of popular at the time. And this one just stuck around in my family. So what is strawberry pretzel salad? It is a 3-layered dish that has a bottom layer of a baked pretzel crust. You could even use gluten-free pretzels. I do, and it's just as good. The middle layer is a combination of Cool Whip, cream cheese, and sugar, which is a combination that is worthy of licking the spatula. It is very tasty. And then the top layer is strawberry jello that has sliced frozen strawberries or crushed pineapple. I personally prefer the crushed pineapple. I think it's a better texture and it holds up a little bit better. But I believe the sliced strawberries is the more traditional way to make it. And I know it sounds really strange, but when it all comes together, it's really, really amazing. It's crunchy, it's sweet, it's salty, it's creamy, it's all of these things put together, and it is absolutely wonderful. So I hope you try it and enjoy.
Strawberry pretzel salad. And I mean, come on, like, we're definitely playing fast and loose with the word salad. This is clearly cheesecake with Jello. This salad cake gave me so much grief. I almost didn't do it because I really, really struggled.
Oh, come on. Ugh. Why didn't this do anything?
But in the end, I persevered and it worked. Oh, this tastes really good. This tastes like strawberry cheesecake, but somehow better. Oh my God. The layers are perfect and the Jello set really well. It took a long time though. Wow, this is really good. The base of the pretzel base is really salty and crunchy, and I really like that. Like, the pretzel base is good. And then the cream cheese and Cool Whip in the middle, it's not overly sweet somehow. And so the Jello sweetness, it's almost like just the right amount of sweet. I really like it. I really like this. I haven't had Jello in a really long time, and like, it's good. Jello's good. I will say that calling this a salad feels like one step over the line too far. But as far as this recipe goes, I'm very into it. I would love to try this again just because I honestly, like, I had a really good time and I loved hearing your stories and I liked trying foods from the US that I've never even heard of before. Let me know some other recipes that would be fun to try. Ideally, you know, like more family recipes, not just quirky vintage ones. That is it. I will see you all in my next video.